Trump challenged Samuel L. Jackson to an IQ test. 30 seconds later, Samuel L. Jackson read the score and Trump walked out in the electric high-stakes circus of late-night television where the line between political theater and actual reality has blurred into oblivion. It began, as so many things do these days, with a tweet. So there you go. It says, "I don't know Samuel L. Jackson to best of my knowledge. Haven't played golf with him and think he does too many TV commercials. Boring. Not a fan. Now, he posted a total lightweight. I hear he's not very smart. I have a much higher IQ, maybe the highest. I challenge him to a test. Horror that he's left us. The stupidity, how bad he was, how ineffective it was. He was so ineffective." It was the kind of bluff Trump had thrown out 1,000 times, usually with no expectation of being called. But he forgot one thing. Samuel L. Jackson is not a man who bluffs. He hopes an audience will embrace. But you really think he care? I mean, he wants you to like his films and he wants you to embrace them in a way, but the stage was set on Jimmy Kimmel Live, but the atmosphere in the studio was tenser than a bomb disposal unit. The air crackled with anticipation. Major event. I think it could be bigger than the Super Bowl and Jake Paul fighting Dick Van Dyke combined. Could be very big. And all the credit goes to our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, who sat Donald Trump red-faced, animated, and clearly ready to bully his way through the segment. "This guy," Trump shouted, pointing a finger at the camera. "He does too many commercials. He says, 'I cheat at golf. I never cheat. I win club championships.' He's just angry because he's a loser. And you know what? He's afraid of the test." Was Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't shout. He didn't stand up. I met him a lot. You played golf with him? I played golf with him. I actually played golf with him with Anthony Anderson one day. Gotcha. Mr. Trump, Jackson said, his voice a low, dangerous rumble that instantly silenced the room. You talk a lot about winning. You talk a lot about genius. And you want to have a test? I'm right here. Trump, thinking he had the upper hand, took the bait immediately. The crowd gasped, a collective intake of breath. Jackson leaned forward, his eyes locking onto the camera lens as if staring directly into Trump's soul across the continent. You claim you know everything. You claim you're the smartest man to ever live in the White House. So before we get to the complex math and the shape rotation, let's start with something simple. I have another person that can verify that he knows me. He called me one day. I was here in New York and was always calling Samuel L. Bonin. Laughter, who? Bon. He pulled out a scorecard, a simple folded golf scorecard from Trump National Golf Club. He held it up to the light, flipping it open with a flick of his wrist. This is from 2018, Jackson said, his voice steady. We played 18 holes. You claimed you shot a 72. Trump's eyes widened on the screen. He started to stammer. That was a great round. A perfect round. Everyone saw it. Jackson ignored him. I kept the score, Donald. I wrote it down, but that's not the test. Jackson looked at the camera. The test is simple. You say you have a photographic memory. You say you never forget a win. So, for the record and for the American people, Jackson paused. The tension in the room reaching a breaking point. Can you tell me without looking down what you actually shot in the par 3 12th hole after you kicked your ball out of the water at Trump National in Jersey? And his caddy told him he found it. Laughter. Now, was the caddy soaking wet when he said this? No, he was not. He just took off running and next thing you know, I got it, Trump. Your laughter. Like, did you see a splash? Trump froze. He was trapped. If he said birdie, Jackson would produce the scorecard showing a double bogey. If he admitted the double bogey, he admitted he lied about the 72. If he admitted he kicked the ball, he admitted to cheating. The genius was checkmated by a piece of cardstock. 0025. He opened his mouth, but only a dry rasp came out. The sweat was visible on his brow now. He looked at the camera, then at the scorecard in Jackson's hand, realizing that this wasn't a debate he could bully his way out of. It was a receipt. 0030. The 30 seconds were up. Trump was staring blankly, his mind racing for an exit that didn't exist. Jackson sat back, satisfied, and read the card aloud. It says here, you took a 6, a double, and that includes the foot wedge. Jackson looked back at the screen, delivering the final line with the weight of a judge passing sentence. You didn't know the answer because the truth isn't in your memory banks, Donald. Only the lie is.
The feed from Mar-a-Lago cut abruptly to black.
Trump had walked out. He physically stood up and left the frame, leaving an empty chair and a stunned silence in his wake. The studio erupted in a standing ovation, not for a joke, but for a moment of pure, undeniable truth delivered by the one man who knows exactly how to handle a snake, whether it's on a plane or on a golf course.